Hello, and thank you for joining us for today's Thought for the Day, the 20th of February. The readings for today are Exodus 31 and 32, Psalm 89, and the 1st of Corinthians chapters 1 and 2. The title for today's thought is, Where is the one who is wise? Today, we began reading Paul's letter to the Corinthians. Corinth was a centre of Greek learning and Greek wisdom. Winning converts was a challenge, a quite different kind of challenge to winning converts among the Jews. Today's world, with its atheism and humanism, is yet another kind of challenge, yet there are parallels. And what Paul wrote applies just as much. The word of the cross is folly to those who are perishing, but to us who are being saved, it is the power of God. This applies in every situation. The meaning of the cross, once grasped, creates the power of thought to change lives. The sacrifice of Christ is senseless in the minds of those who are not seeking real spirituality in their outlook on life. In verse 19, Paul quotes God's words through Isaiah in chapter 29 and verse 14. I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and the discernment of the discerning I will thwart. Human wisdom has been thwarted by God in every age and every culture. The 21st century is not going to be any different. The Apostle Paul asked, Where is the one who is wise? And then makes the point, since in the wisdom of God, the world did not know God through its wisdom, it pleased God through the folly of what we preach to save those who believe. For Jews demanded signs and Greeks seek wisdom, but... And what a vital but that little word is. But to those who are called, both Jews and Greeks, Christ the power of God and the wisdom of God. What wisdom we can read in Matthew's Gospel of the teaching of Christ. What a challenge to practice what he taught, as recorded in chapters 5 through to 7, generally called the Sermon on the Mount. No human author could have invented Christ as a fictional character and put such teachings in his mouth. Those who are called show their calling by their wholehearted responding to such a teaching. Paul tells the Corinthians, I decided to know nothing amongst you except Jesus Christ and him crucified, chapter 2 verse 2. He then makes the point, among the mature, we do impart wisdom, although it is not a wisdom of this age, but we impart a secret and a hidden wisdom of God, which God decreed before the ages for our glory. None of the rulers of this age understood this, for if they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. Verses 6 through to 8. The Old Testament is the repository of such wisdom. Let us search out more and more the wisdom of God and develop more and more of genuine love for God. Paul says, It is written, No eye hath seen, nor ear heard, nor the heart of man imagined what God has prepared for those who love him. Verse 9. True wisdom is the outcome of genuine love for God. May we be filled with wisdom and daily feed on the wisdom of God. Thank you for joining us for today's Thought for the Day. We pray you find it helpful. If you do, please share it with a friend. As you go about today, try and do all to the glory of God, remembering that the antidote to sin is not only not to sin, but to do good. Please join us again tomorrow for another Thought for the Day. Thank you, and God bless.